Global Touring Cars and the GTC Super Cup now making their way out to the circuit and looking forward to a massive battle. This is definitely something that the crowd are going to be entertained with in a big way. They've all come out to see what Global Touring Cars is all about for 2022 with a massive resurgence in GTC with 9 cars at the front end and of course a massive field of Super Cup cars tucked in behind them, all fighting hard, and the welcome return of Volkswagen Motorsport.
So Daniel, it's round 2 and there's a big fight expected here at Zwartkops, but it's always important to be on the front row.
Yeah, obviously for sure. Based on yesterday, it looks like it's going to be difficult for us to take the challenge to them. It's quite a big deficit in pace. Obviously we want to be closer to the front. That's how we can defend the apparent lead in the championship. That's still pending as well after a last appeal. So we've got a 3-point lead. We'll try and defend that as much as we can or gain and improve on that.
Top contender in Super Cup will be Keegan Campos.
Keegs, we chatted to Dad yesterday. It's history in the making for the Campos family. The 3 of you in one race for the very first time ever. I never even think I'd see that actually happen, but it must be pretty exciting.
We're following suit from our South brothers, the Obi boys. Obviously, you know, they were 3 brothers plus their father. This is obviously a historic moment for us to have all 3 of us on the same grid. My brothers raced with my dad before, I've raced with my dad before, but never all 3 at one go. So we're looking forward to it.
Jeff Kruger getting himself 2,500 rand courtesy of Dunlop with the pole position award. And look out for Brad Liebenberg. We haven't mentioned that just yet, but he's in a brand new Golf GTI 8 and looking to perform right from the word go there for his sponsors in Team Red Racing and the Universal Motorsport Camp. Robert Volk is at the front end. Of course, he'll be pushing hard. He's going to have a tough time of it because it's Saud Variawa who's actually taken the pole position and beaten everybody else out there. That is a big turnaround with the youngest driver on pole position for the first time in his racing career here in GTC. They roll off now for the rolling start, and there's going to be a slight gap in the proceedings there. Saud Variawa, Robert Volk, Michael van Rooyen and Brad Liebenberg, your first 4. Daniel Rowe and Machotsi alongside each other, the teammates, and then Julian van der Vat and Mandla Nakani with Rackstraw at the back in the Audi, having to do a lot of work. It hasn't quite worked out there for the Race Driver SA team. We saw Jeff Kruger was on pole position. He's alongside Leighton Fourie, his stablemate. Then it's Keegan Campos and Jason Campos, Keegan Masters and Arnie Neveling making a debut here in Super Cup, ahead of Tata Carella, also a rookie man for the first time there. And look out for the battle between Lutie Davidson and Mercedes Note for the Masters side. Lights go out and we go racing. And they hold those lights a long, long way. And into turn 1, it's Saud Variawa. Looks like he might have just got the drop. No, Robert Volk squeezes him out. Just coming through there and showing the championship metal that he's got. And Brad Liebenberg pounces almost instantaneously in the Hype Energy GTI. Great start there from Liebenberg, side by side with Variawa as they come out of turn 2. Behind them, it's Van Rooyen. Van Rooyen leads off the 2 Volkswagen Motorsport GTI 8s as the rest of Super Cup come flying through there. That is Nick Davidson around the outside. Lutie's just ahead of him. So Paul Lutie from Scotland, all the way from Scotland, every single time, comes out here to play with Super Cup. He leads out in the Masters, but Jeff Kruger leads out at the front end of the Cup class. And look at that, Jason and Keegan Campos swapping positions across the line and now changing it onto the racetrack proper. GTC already up into Kenwood and some sideways action there. You can see, there you go, Machotsi squeezing out the 21 car of Ndakani, just getting him in between himself and his teammate, and Daniel Rowe trying to find a way through there on the 2 of them as well. Rowe goes on the inside as they go into GNH Transport corner. Further back, look at this, around the outside. This is Keegan Masters side by side with Jason Campos. Campos trying to avoid all the action and intentions being shown there by the turn 1 car as they head down towards turn 7 and 8. It's Keegan Campos just up the road there, just behind Leighton Fourie. Leighton Fourie tucked in behind Jeff Kruger as they come down into the braking point. Very, very close. Oh, look at that! Up on the two wheels, the turn 1 car getting completely out of shape. Jason Campos clipping there, but red flags. Red flags are out due to the fact that the red lights did not go off at the start, so they're going to have to restart this one completely. Something went wrong, but have a look at this. This is the turn 1 car of Jason Campos coming on the outside. I think Keegan Masters might have seen the red flags and backed out, and Campos didn't see them. And he tags the back end of Masters and goes flying off the circuit. Hopefully no damage to that turn 1 car, but let's catch up with him quickly.
See, there was a red flag, but I thought we were racing with professionals here. Leighton and Keegan Masters acted like a real rookie there, stopping on the apex of a corner when they see a red flag. It's the most dangerous thing they could have done to me. Unfortunately, I just clipped Keegan's wheel, put me on 2 wheels, and obviously out of the race now. We broke a steering arm now because of it. Could have been a lot worse, but obviously we got 0 points, so as far as I consider it, that's as bad as it gets. So yeah, it's what it is.
Right, let's see if they get the race start right this time as they head down towards turn 1, and Variawa will try and set the pace and hopefully not make the same mistake. Lights go out this time, so we've got a full start, and it is Volk on the inside again, beating out Saud Variawa, the youngest driver in this pack. as they fly down in towards turn 1. Variawa is going to try and look for second place if he can, but Brad Liebenberg yet again around the outside in the hype, and Team Universal Motorsport GTI 8 debuting that car here this weekend. Great start for his career, and Leighton Free goes side by side with Keegan Campos as they go into turn 1 in the Cup class. Further back, once again, it's Luti side by side as they go down into turn number 1 and 2. And you can see just how it packs up there. Look at that. Davidson tagging the back end. Oh, there's a car in the middle of the circuit. That's Rowe. Daniel Rowe has spun out right in the middle of the track. Something went wrong in turn 2 at the back end of GTC, and Rowe's going the wrong way. So he must have tagged one of the cars, maybe Ndakani, maybe possibly. Oh, there's some damage there, I think, on one of those cars. Is that Ndakani's car, or is that Van Rooyen? Definitely one of the Toyota Gazoo Racing Corollas that's got some problems. It looks like it might be Van Rooyen. As they come down the hill, we'll get confirmation on that. But you can see some serious damage on the front end of that car. As they go through there, it is actually Mandel Nakani. There is Van Rooyen. There's a tag. Oh, Leighton Free getting a little tap from Keegan Campos saying, welcome to Super Cup. This is how we play things here. And he gets sent to the corner pocket and right to the back of the field. Into the mix now with the Masters. He's just ahead of the Masters and tucked in behind Davy. Davy Van Niekerk from Cape Town is also having a great baptism of fire here in this category. It's JP Van der Walt just ahead of him, and just ahead of that you can see they're all starting to line up there, and it's a very, very hard charge here from the Super Cup class. Arnie Niveling in the mix of it as well for the very first time. Davidson fighting with Luti for honours at this stage for the Masters side. Have a look at this. Let's have a see if we can pick up on a little tap. There's the little tap we were seeing earlier on as they went into turn 2. And there, left, right and centre, they all went round. And how Daniel Rowe was avoided, only he knows. He probably sitting in the cockpit of that car going, what is going wrong here? Something is not right. My car's not facing the right way. So you can see just how hard he's having to push. As they get to the top of the hill now, the Hype Energy Motorsport car doing such a good job. And Brad Liebenberg debuting that GTI 8 for the very first time into second place. Can you believe that, behind Robert Volk? So we're seeing already the potential of that car from the fact that it was only rolled out here on Wednesday for the very first time in anger. And by Friday had qualified right up there. And now on Saturday on race day is up in a second. His teammate or stablemate from the GTI side of things is Mahotsi. Mahotzi's got his own little fight on there with the 95, the Rustenburg Rocket of Van Rooyen. The second of the Gazoo Racing Toyota Corollas. Oh, and that is Brad Liebenberg completely out of shape. Something went wrong there as he came out of turn 1. He ended up in the kiddie litter and onto the very bumpy kiddie litter at the exit point there. One of that's done some damage to the car, possibly. We'll keep an eye on that. JP Van der Walt under attack there from Van Niekerk. Behind them, you can see Leighton Free is trying to find a way back at these guys to get through to the front. Not going to be easy because these two are fighting as hard as what the guys in front are fighting for the lead. And at this point in time, you can see just how tough it's going to be. Keegan Masters, Arnie Neveling, Tata Carella, and Keegan Campos are all at the front end. And Tata Carella, incredibly, at the front of this field in his first time of asking, is such a good effort there from him. There he goes, flying through there just ahead of JP Van der Walt and Leighton Free. The Master side of things there is Team Perfect Circle's Andre Besaidnout, rocking some new colours out there as well. Nice to see Peretti and Playboy joining him for this time out as part of the Team Perfect Circle team. Have a look at this. This is possibly what went wrong here. Down into turn number 2. There's the tag. The tag actually came from the back end. I think it might have been Rackstraw who turned that GTI 8 around. And that's how Daniel Rowe ended up facing the wrong way in turn 2. Robert Volk is facing the right way and doing everything right at the moment, looking for the first victory here and possibly to just put another hand on the championship title. Even though it's round 2, Robert Volk has been a very tough man to beat in these cars. And he is at the front end, and when he's there, he's exceptionally difficult to pass. And that's why he goes and takes victories just like that, ahead of Sawad Variawa and Mahotsi. Coming to the line, who's going to have what it takes here to beat out the GTC Super Cup class? Looks like it's going to be Campos. Campos going to be hanging on here as he comes across the line. And as he takes the victory, it's Keegan Campos ahead of Keegan Masters. The top 2 there finishing up just ahead of what a debut from Arnie Neveling. Neveling coming through there to finish up just ahead. Confirmation of the results though, Volk ahead of Variawa and Mahotsi, Michael Van Rooyen and Rackstraw, and then it's Masters who actually takes the victory with Keegan Campos being demoted down with a 30-second penalty for an infringement. Let's find out what went wrong with Campos.
It was a very challenging race. Obviously qualifying was, I don't even know, I think it's like split by half a second within the top 6. Tough race. I'm not sure what will happen. I'm sure I'm going to be protested. Made 1 or 2 mistakes out there, but if things stand as they are, we will take home maximum points today so far.
GTC winner is Robert Volk after another great day in the saddle.
we had a great start, had to do it twice. Obviously, going to turn 1, managed to get up the inside, which is fortunate around the circuit because you have the inside line going into it. And from there, managed to control the race. So we didn't have the best setup towards the end, definitely struggled a bit. But yeah, thankfully had a good car package to start with, managed to pull a gap, and then yeah, managed to maintain it from there. So a lot of traffic at the end, but glad to finally pull off the win and reverse grid, so start 6th. Should be entertaining the second race.
Final bit of action now from Zwartkops, and round 2 of the Extreme Festival National Championships comes from GTC and GTC Super Cup, second race of the day. And we've already seen lots of action on track and a couple of guys who were unhappy with the way things ended up, particularly Jason Campos. You can see having sorted that car out and ready now for race number 2. The infringement that was given to his brother is definitely going to be something that Keegan Campos is going to be fighting hard for. But what are we going to see out of Brad Liebenberg? Will he be back on track in time? Have they been able to get that car sorted out? Tata Carello has certainly had a fantastic debut here as we go on board with Daniel Rowe on the start of GTC. Rowe has got a lot of work to do to make up ground after a spin in turn 2 in the second start of race number 1. Look at his teammates side by side around the outside, looking to squeeze out Rackstraw. Rackstraw trying to fend off the attack from the hard-charging Toyotas, GTIs, as they come down into turn 2. We're on looking back here, and you can see just how tough it is as you look back there from Jonathan Mahotsi's point of view. Mahotsi's right in the middle of the pack, and with this reverse grid is going to be an interesting way they finish up the second heat of the day. Leighton Free at the front end holds on just ahead there, and whoa, running wide, it's Campos. Campos gets, I think he might have got a little tag there, but the Campos car gets forced wide, and there's Davidson diving through on him. So Nick Davidson capitalizing on the fact that you've already got some action. Speaking of action, here we go on board with Mahotsi, this time forward-facing camera, and look at how rough it's getting at the front end. Variawa fighting hard and trying to find a way through, and look at how he's having to fend off both of those Toyotas. Not going to make it easy. Now he's got one alongside him as Robert Welk comes along for the ride. He's trying to find a way past. This is a great opportunity here for Julian van der Walt, the man who was on pole position, to get away in the Ford. We didn't mention him much in race number 1, but in race 2 with this reverse grid, he's now got about probably about half a second over the leap of this pack, and he's disappearing at the front end, controlling things as his stablemate goes on the inside of the GTI. Look at this. Oh, Rowe gets sent onto the grass again. He catches it, gets back on track. Can he get it into turn 2? Turn it in. Yes, he can. How he caught that one, only he knows. Great bit of driving there from Daniel Rowe. Daniel Son on fire there. Coming down into turn 2. Here's a maneuver. Campos around the outside. Oh, he's got tagged. Campos and, well, it's the two Keegans. Keegan Masters and Campos have come together in turn 2. I think there's a problem there on the Team Perfect Circle car. Looks like it might have a front right puncture, and I don't think there was any braking ability on that car. So when Keegan Campos tried to turn in, unfortunately Masters was already on his way. He could not slow the car down with that front tire being flat, and he went sideways into the car, and the two of them tagged, ending up with both of them off track. Masters out of it by the looks of things. Maybe Keegan Campos can get back on track. Jeff Kruger hangs on, possibly looking for a chance now to get to the front end. He's not quite there just yet. As we have a look at the replay once again, this is from Nick Davidson looking back at Andre Besaidnout. There is the tag between Campos and Masters, the two Keegans coming together. Oh, looks like, I think, getting caught out, and that was Donnie van Niekerk. Donnie van Niekerk just had nowhere to go. This, of course, is the action that's happening in Super Cup, and the Super Cup is heating up here big time. Leighton Free hanging on, and Arnie Neveling is right behind him. Jeff Kruger tucked in for 3rd place, and Tata Carello fighting hard. You can see trying to get through and possibly even get onto the podium. That'll be amazing for his first outing. We've already seen Arnie Neveling in his debut to get onto the podium. What can Tata Carello do? He's got Jason Campos to fend off, and JP van der Walt also to have some fight with as well. But needless to say, none of those two cars are going to be up for the challenge more if Tata Carello comes up and wants to play. This is Rackstraw. Rackstraw's had a phenomenal first part of the second heat, and he's kept out everybody else. He's allowing Julian van der Walt to get away. This is how hard he's having to work. As he goes, oh, here comes Variawa. Variawa's eventually had to go. He's going to dive on the inside. They've tagged, they've come together. Oh, and they send Rackstraw onto the outside. Rackstraw hangs on. Variawa does as well, but look at that. Opportunity opens up the door, and yes, Michael van Rooyen and Robert Volk dive on the inside saying, we'll have that every day of the week. Thanks very much. Now we go on board here with Daniel Rowe as he closes in on the back end of that race driver SA Audi. And you can see he's looking dangerous as well, is Daniel Rowe. You remember he's oh, and Rackstraw with a big moment. Rackstraw with a massive moment coming out of turn 2. Daniel Rowe had nowhere to go. The front end of that GTI 8, the left-hand side is completely damaged. We'll hopefully get an outside shot of that at some point, but you can see he tagged the back end of Rackstraw, who got a little bit out of shape coming out of turn 2, where these guys are headed to, as Leighton Free continues to lead the Super Cup category. Arnie Neveling, Jeff Kruger. How many times have we seen this in the past? These three used to fight it out in Polo Cup. Now they're fighting out in Super Cup. Brilliant stuff to see the three of them going at it. And look at the gap that they pulled over Campos and Carello. And in fact, by the looks of things, it might be Tata Carello who's up one position there. So keep an eye on that battle for 4th, 5th and 6th place. Seems to have opened up ever so slightly. But Nicky Dix's car in the hands now of Arnie Neveling is certainly a contender at the front end of this field. He's already been on the podium. He's looking for another podium here in his first time ever in a Super Cup category car. Definitely someone to watch out for in the future. That is for sure. 27 on the side of that car now. New number for the Platinum Wheels machine. Also out of Team Red Racing. That is JP for the Vault. They'll be looking to get this race done and dusted and look forward to the hill climb in a couple of weeks' time. But look at this. Absolutely dominant from Julian van der Walt. He's not going to go and put any wheels wrong now as he comes up onto the back end. And that's on the Trinity Protection Services car of Sam Hammond. Hammond might just be given a little bit of leeway here to allow Van der Walt to just finish up and not have to worry. No, he's going to go on the inside. He's going to give Hammond one less lap to worry about. Sam Hammond will probably be happy about that one. It didn't quite go according to plan there for the Trinity Protection Services team. And it is Van der Walt who takes the victory ahead of Saud Variawa just in the background coming through there. And then Michael van Rooyen. Brilliant stuff from them. Absolutely awesome. And now as they come down on the braking point, this is Daniel Rowe. Look at that. That's the first time we've seen the front end of that GTI 8. And some serious damage after the tag between him and Rackstraw. Leighton Free is under big pressure. The Super Cup class is not done yet. They've got 2 corners to go as they come out of Kenwood. And look at the pressure being applied there from Arnie Neveling. Oh man, the Strudale Motorsport man is all over the back end there of the Elite Services and Team Red Racing machine of Leighton Free as they come down to the line. Free's going to hang on. He's going to take his first victory in Super Cup. That's a brilliant effort there from the youngster. Absolutely brilliantly done. And it only taken him 3 races to get to the front end of this very, very competitive field. Great stuff there from Leighton Free. He wins out of Arnie Neveling, Jeff Kruger, Campos and Van der Walt. And it's Van der Walt who wins the GTCs ahead of Variawa, Michael van Rooyen, Machotsi and Daniel Rowe. Let's catch up now with first-time winner, Leighton Free.
The day started off a bit tough in quali. Just missed out on pole, and then race 1 we got into an incident, but we got the win secured in race 2, and I think we championship lead, but that we'll calculate.
Turn 2 has not been good to Daniel Rowe. Let's find out what happened down in turn 2.
Managed to get past Mandla, and then Andrew had a bit of a tank slap on the exit of turn 2. And when I went to the inside to avoid, he ended up settling the car just in front of me, and it was just a unfortunate prank. Thanks to the team. Well done to Jono. He did a superb job this weekend, and hopefully we can take the fight at the next round.
GTC winner Julian van der Walt.
We led from flag to flag, so I really couldn't be happier. The team did such an incredible job with the car between Cape Town and now, with a huge mountain of work that was done with changes, just wrapping the car. So I can't say thank you enough to the guys at WCT. I'm really grateful for all the work that they did. We had a mega car in race 2. We know our race pace is really good. So I'm really looking forward to PE, and I think we'll be very strong there. But again, a massive thanks to WCT Engineering.
Championship points heading to PE. Robert Volk ahead by 3 points over Julian van der Walt and Saud Variawa. Daniel Rowe down in 4th and Michael van Rooyen in 5th. Leighton Free with only 3 points ahead of Keegan Masters for the GTC Super Cup. There is the podium and some 3, 6 and 9 very happy men out there as we've got GTC Super Cup Masters and the GTCs with the Dunlop girls.
I'm surprised they even have a camera on this track.
I'm surprised Marius even knows what he's doing there. The next Extreme Festival is in Aldo Scribante, his hometown, on the 28th of May. We'll be there to bring you all the action. Make sure you join us. All this Extreme Festival action is proudly brought to you by Comcare Medical Scheme, Dunlop Tires, Ferodo, the #1 in brakes, and Investchem.